Good evening, teachers, parents, and students. Today I am here to share some of the experiences of some students right from class 1 to class 12. I am sharing this because every teacher has to understand what a child goes through during school hours and how we as good teachers can help them. When you take a class of 30 students, 10 students have the capability to manage all their emotions, their problems, and are still able to sit normally in the class and do their work. But there are about 20 students who have a real problem. As teachers, we have to understand and accordingly treat the child. The minute we think we are a teacher, that doesn't mean that we have some authority. We have the right to shout at the child, right to be very bossy. If that is the attitude, then that's not a good quality for a teacher. Teacher is mainly for being very patient. She has to be patient because children come from different backgrounds and they come from different atmosphere where the different society is there. Some societies are very hi-fi, so they see certain things to which they should not be exposed at such an early age. Some of them coming from very religious background, some of them coming from very moderate background, that is, the family is very strict and their every action is monitored. So you have to think about all that. Therefore, don't expect all the 30 students to behave in the same way. First, I will start with teachers because we have a great role to play. Today, if India has produced so many engineers, scientists, doctors, and research personnel, IT professionals, and most of them are holding very, very big position all over the world, not only India. And it is Indians are there in most important position in all the research center. And what does that show? That Indians are basically very brilliant. And we are taught how to behave in a society, how to go about, how to take things as they come. We are not taught textual things. We are exposed to certain things practically in life. And we have a variety of things that we face. So, it is necessary that teachers have to understand that it's a very big responsibility on our shoulders to see that every child is converted into a wonderful, useful human being for this world. Today, the social media has got many advantages as well as disadvantages. When you weigh the pros and cons of that, I would say that disadvantages are more. I'll tell you why. You may not agree with me, but let us go back 30-40 years back. There was no social media. We only used to hear the radio or once in a while the Doordarshan. Are we all not good human beings? All the scientists who are there, they were never exposed to all these things. So what I'm trying to tell, they had lot of time. Only way they could acquire knowledge was by learning, reading. Reading is very, very essential. Audio, video, both are important. But learning on your own is something which is a very unique quality. And we can say it is a blessing in disguise. The Britishers gave us this language, English, which has made us very advantageous to go and read books of great writers, poets, scholars, scientists, name them, and we are able to analyze, we are able to understand. So, But the present generation, they don't have the patience to read. And I don't blame them. We are to be blamed. From the time a child is 2 years old, you are so engrossed in your personal work that you want to just the child to keep his mouth shut and not run around. So what do? You give him an iPad, or you put him in front of a laptop, or you give him a cell phone to play games. You don't want to spend time with the child. So what is happening? We don't know what's happening. What is the child seeing? What is the child learning? You can allow him to watch TV or cartoons, whatever it is, but be next to him. Monitor him. Most of the cartoons shows some funny things which is not actually funny. Let us take simple example of certain cartoons, I don't want to name them, where two animals are forever fighting with each other. Is this what we are going to teach the child? How one animal tries to bully the another one. So something is wrong, drastically wrong over there. So at such a young age, when the child is so fresh, he is exposed to this kind of a video. What effect he will have? When he joins school, you have to continuously monitor his behavior. It's extremely difficult to make a child sit in a class when he is 3.5 years old. All of teachers who are handling the lower classes, Montessori, LKG, they know what it is. Why? Because the parent who did not have time to take care of the child always gave an iPad or the computer or the TV to the child to watch these cartoons. Is it necessary that the child should only watch a cartoon? Let him watch. There are so many other cartoons which improve your language, your knowledge. That kind of cartoon should be shown. And another thing is, teach them rhymes through audio video. Take them to some historic place, show them, explain to them, sit with them. So, what I want you to understand is, because the child is being exposed to the social media and all other society, which society you are moving, what kind of parties you are attending, what type of people are coming to your house, all these things influence the child. Unconsciously, we parents, without realizing how our behavior is affecting our child, we expose them to all this. Earlier days, I remember when there were guests who came to visit us, first thing our parents would say is, go to your room. They would never discuss anything in front of little children, because they knew that certain things cannot be exposed to the children. Children are children, because the mind is so influential at that age. Whatever you say, that will get affected. But today it is very stylish to say, yeah, my daughter knows everything, she is my friend. Let your daughter be a friend, but not in telling her what is happening around, what's happening between the relatives. It's not necessary. A child will learn as she grows. It's not necessary. Be a friend wherever it is required. Wherever you have to put a stop to it, please take over. Because as a parent, whatever you do is going to reflect in your child's behavior in the school. Now, teachers are there. I agree, teachers play a very, very important role, and they are very influential in making the child. The child comes very raw to us, like a clay. We have to mold them. So when we are doing that, we see to it that we take into account every behavior of a child. India is such a thickly populated nation. There aren't enough schools. So what happens? Every school has got too many students. A class has got minimum 40 students. There are certain schools which promise while giving admission that we won't have more than 20 students, but they are forced to take 30. I won't blame this institution. It's because there are such a lot of demand for the school. So people, they have to consider. So just imagine how one single teacher, she has to play a role of a leader who shows the correct path in which the child should move. So the responsibility as a teacher is understand. Now earlier parents never used to, I'm talking about 30-40 years back, parents were never allowed to interact with the teachers or with anybody. Everything went only in writing. Nowadays you are very lucky. There is parent teachers meeting, you can meet, you can come and mingle, you can meet the principal, you can express, you have the social media, everything is right from the education minister up to the principal of a school. You can approach if there is a problem for your child. This was never there in those days. If a principal even called our parent for something good, we were so scared. Nowadays, no, it's the other way. Children feel, today my father is going to come and complain about my teacher. What are we trying to teach the child? You have an issue with the teacher, you don't like the way she teaches, or something is wrong which is not up to your expectation. Please don't expose that to your child. What respect the child will have for the teacher? Therefore, my sincere request is, parents, you also have to be very, very careful, because you are the first teacher for the child. A child learns all the words at home. To behave in a society, in a family, all this is learned at home. Once he comes to school, we try to channelize his energy in such a way that he adjusts according to the situation. That is our job. Our job is to educate. Now, teaching is different, educating is different. Teaching means whatever is textual, that I am going to teach. That anybody can do. Educating the child is making the child aware of what is happening around him and guide the child. Tell the child what is right and wrong. As teachers, in those days, it was like spare the rod and spoil the child. These days, it's not like that. It is how you conduct yourself. Please don't demand respect, command respect. A teacher should be worth the respect. The child should feel like respecting. When they are young, up to 5th standard, you can be the boss, which is not again correct. You have to understand a child. From 6th standard, it's different. Children learn certain things and they start judging you. Therefore, how you conduct yourself is very, very important. Now, why I am discussing this is, of late, there are lots of problems faced by teachers, parents and students. All of them have different problems. When you take students, they have so many. They have the issue of, they say my teacher is giving me so much homework, my teacher doesn't teach properly, my teacher shouts at me, my teacher tries to make fun of me. These things are from children's side. You all don't know, but these things are there. When you go on rounds during lunch hour or when they are in the playground, you can hear them discuss about the teacher. This is a very bad thing. It's not a bad thing for the students. It's a bad thing for the teacher. The teacher has to be very careful about how she conducts herself. Don't give an opportunity for the child to talk about you. You have to control your emotions. You have to be a teacher who will be respected, loved. Children will respect you only when you conduct yourself properly. First thing is, be thorough with your subject. Don't stick only to your textual knowledge. You have to make your teaching very interesting. If the child has a problem, please attend to it. He is so much dependent on you. Please don't leave him like that. Oh, you will always do like this. Oh, you are capable of only getting such. Never say that. Positive, positive. Always speak positively. Oh, you can do better. I'm so sure you have a talent. Let the child get even 1 mark. Just increase. Try this and you'll see success will be. Now, as parents also, please, there may be problem. Please don't say anything against the teacher in front of your child. You have something, please come and discuss with us, with the teachers. You want to discuss with your other friends, please do it. but see that your child is not there. Because he has to learn to respect. So if you're going to say, you know that teacher, how she teaches, oh my God, she doesn't know to teach. Look at the way she has given notes. See how she speaks. Don't do this. I am not saying all teachers are perfect. I told you already, teachers are the lowest paid in this country. There are even teachers who work for 10,000 rupees per month, handling classes 9, 10. Just imagine what is 10,000 rupees these days. I am telling you, that is the truth. That is the truth. If the teacher is coming for that 10,000 rupees, imagine what must be her economic status. She really needs that money. Therefore, don't think she's coming there for money. Therefore, she's working hard. Give her some time. Let her pick up. Definitely she will grow. That doesn't mean I'm not asking you not to criticize, but come and talk to us. Talk to the seniors. Maybe you can talk to the vice principal, you can talk to the coordinator, and try to solve the problem very amicably. There's such a shortage of teachers these days. That is why all your money is going into all the coaching classes. Most of the parents are paying more for coaching classes than the teachers in school. School fees may be very less, but the money they pay for each subject is so huge. So what I'm trying to tell is, parents, teachers and students, all three of us have to be together in shaping the future of a child, for which, without interfering in each other, without criticizing anybody directly, without exposing the teachers to the students, we all can work and make it a great success so that your child grows into a very good human being. Thank you.